My name is Lena, and if you're hearing my voice right now, it means I survived. But not everyone who entered that place made it out. And before I tell you everything, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like a place was watching you? Not just haunted, but alive in a way you can't explain. We were 4 girls, me, Lisa, Emily, and Sophia, and we decided to travel to a small, almost abandoned town called Raven's Hollow, a place surrounded by silence, fog, and stories no one could explain. And as we drove deeper into the empty road, the radio suddenly turned on by itself. Static filled the car, and then a voice whispered, "Go back." It repeated 3 times, and even though we laughed and tried to ignore it, something inside me didn't feel right. When we finally arrived, the town felt wrong. The streets were empty. The buildings looked lifeless, and the few people we saw just stared at us without saying a word, like they already knew something we didn't. And when we asked an old man where we could stay, he looked at us with fear in his eyes and said quietly, "If you have a choice, don't stay here tonight." But we ignored him, and that was our first mistake. We found a place called Black Hollow Inn, an old hotel standing alone like it didn't belong to this world. The door creaked as we stepped inside, and a cold wave of air hit us instantly, carrying a strange smell, something damp and old, almost like something had died there long ago. And behind the desk stood a man, completely still, smiling in a way that didn't feel human. He looked at us and said, "You're late. We've been expecting you." And even though his words didn't make sense, we didn't question it. We just took the key he gave us. Room 13. As we walked upstairs, I noticed something strange. Every room had a normal number, 12, 14, 15, but 13 was written by hand, like it didn't belong there. And when we entered the room, everything felt off. There was a large mirror on the wall, heavy curtains blocking the outside, and a clock that had stopped at exactly 3:33. And at first we thought it was just broken. But then we realized something worse. Every clock in the hotel showed the same time. That night, we tried to sleep, but Sophia couldn't. She kept saying she felt like someone was in the room with us, someone we couldn't see. And we laughed it off, but deep down, I started to feel it too, that strange feeling of being watched. At exactly 3:33 in the morning, I woke up suddenly. The room was freezing, colder than before, and then I heard it breathing, slow, deep, coming from somewhere in the dark, and it wasn't mine, and it wasn't any of the girls. I slowly sat up, my heart racing, and then I saw it, a tall figure standing in the corner, thin, unmoving, its head slightly tilted, no clear face, but I knew it was looking straight at me. Then suddenly, knock, knock, knock. The sound came from the door, sharp and clear. I forced myself to stand up and walk toward it, every step heavier than the last. And when I opened the door, the hallway was dark, but not empty. A little girl stood there, her face hidden behind her hair, and in a weak voice she asked, "Why did you come?" And before I could answer, she disappeared. When I turned back into the room, Sophia was gone, just like that. And at first we thought she was joking, hiding somewhere. But then we saw her bed covered in something dark, something wet. And when we got closer, we realized it was blood, fresh and still dripping. And Emily started crying while Lisa tried to stay calm. But none of us could explain what was happening. Then we looked at the mirror, and slowly words began to appear, forming right in front of our eyes. "One has joined us," and I swear, no one was writing it. It was like the mirror itself was alive. We started searching the hotel, calling Sophia's name, our voices echoing through empty halls, until we found an old room with a dusty television and a VHS tape. And for some reason, we played it, and what we saw was us, 4 girls entering the same hotel, laughing just like we did. And then one disappeared, then another, until only one girl remained, screaming into the camera, warning us, "Don't trust what you see. Not all of them are real." And then something grabbed her from behind and dragged her into the darkness. That's when we understood we weren't the first, and we wouldn't be the last. The second night was worse. We heard scratching inside the walls, whispers that didn't make sense, and sometimes we heard our own voices calling for help. I even heard myself whispering from somewhere behind me, "Lena, help me." But I was standing right there, frozen in fear. Lisa started acting differently. She said she saw Sophia, but something was wrong. She said Sophia was smiling, but her eyes were empty, completely black, like whatever was inside her wasn't human anymore. We tried to escape, but the hotel wouldn't let us. The main door was gone. The hallways kept changing. Every path led us back to the same place. It was like the building itself was alive, trapping us inside. At some point, I found myself standing in front of a door that was slightly open, and when I pushed it, I saw them, Sophia and others, many others, standing together, smiling, their eyes completely black. And Sophia stepped forward and said softly, "Why are you trying to leave? It's better here." And then all of them spoke at once, "Let her stay." I ran. I didn't think. I didn't look back. I just ran until I fell. And when I opened my eyes again, I was outside. The sun was rising, and the hotel was gone, like it had never existed. I went back to the town and asked about it. And that's when I heard the truth. The hotel had burned down over 30 years ago, and everyone inside had died. But that's not the end, because later, when I checked my phone, I found a video I don't remember recording. It was me, inside the hotel, looking straight into the camera and saying, "If you're watching this, don't come here." And now, every night at exactly 3:33, I hear knocking on my door, slow, steady, waiting. And sometimes, when I look in the mirror, I see myself, but it's not me. So let me ask you one last question. If you heard knocking on your door right now, would you open it? If you made it this far, you're brave. Don't forget to subscribe to With Anna 7. Turn on the notification bell and tell me in the comments, would you escape or stay?